Hey, playing this Eric Clapton model Martin guitar, and I was going to tell you a little story about kind of some of the stuff that I do on a day-to-day basis. I got called for a film last week, and it's a new Jeremy Camp movie. It's called I Still Believe, and the composer is John Debney, who is an LA kind of composer. He's done scoring for The Passion of the Christ, Elf, Iron Man 2, just a whole list of really great movies that you've probably heard. But anyway, on a day-to-day basis, I don't really know what I'm going to do in the studio. There's no real chance to look at music or get any idea of what I might have to do. So the best thing to do is be prepared, and just in general. So that's why I have DaveCleveland.com, is to help you prepare, to get you ready for situations like this. So on this particular day, we were at the Ocean Way Studio in Nashville, Tennessee. It's the big room there. It's kind of like a cathedral kind of room. And so we're tracking with a full orchestra. And so they're in the big room. And then because I'm playing acoustic guitar, they have me separated over into a different room, so that there's some isolation between what I'm doing and the orchestra. Because a lot of times on a session, you don't want the instruments to kind of bleed into each other. So, which was great with me because I had my own room. And of course, you know, if you're like me, I get a little nervous. Regardless of how long I've been doing this, it's still a little bit nerve-wracking knowing that you're walking into a situation where the music could be the hardest thing you've ever seen in your life, or it could be playing chords all day. And so I wasn't sure what the situation was going to be. All I know is that if the orchestra and I are tracking at the same time, I don't want to be the guy to slow down the orchestra by going, oh, I need to fix this bar, I need to fix that bar. That is always the kind of the pressure of these situations, is you don't want to be the one that they're waiting for. So I'm in my own room. I get my stack of music, and I always like to get to the session, especially on a day where I'm going to be doing a lot of reading. I like to get there as soon as I can, because hopefully the music will be there ahead of time, and I can take a few minutes to look through what's going on. As you know, as guitarists, and I've taught this to you through the program, it's always, the challenge is always to figure out where on the guitar do you want to play the music that you're reading. You want to make it as comfortable for yourself as possible, but you also want to try and make it as musical as possible. So I'm looking through the music, and the first thing I see is there are no chords on the music. Everything is written out specifically the way that it's supposed to be played. So I went through the next, I think there were 30 cues or so. The longest one was the first one. Everything else after that was single page. And a lot of them were tacit sheets. Now, a tacit sheet is simply, say if we get to cue 11 and I'm not playing on it, well, instead of just me not seeing any music, they give you what's called a tacit sheet. It just says tacit, which means you don't play on this song. So it's kind of nice, because then you can keep all your music in order. You know, on, say, Q11, you don't play. That doesn't mean to run and take a break. That means sit there and listen to them play it, because I've found if you, on a tacit sheet, if you think that's a break for you know, that you go do whatever you want to do, there could be a moment where the producer goes, hey, you know, the acoustic guitar would be cool right here. Can you just play a G chord? Well, if you're not in there, if you're down in the lounge or something getting a coffee or a tea, or, you know, taking a snack break, they're going to come looking for you. And there's nothing worse than slowing a session down. You just got to always be ready. And what I do when I have a tacit sheet, especially since I'm separated from the orchestra and they can't hear me because the engineer will turn my mic off when I'm tacit, I'll sit in there and I'll actually listen to, through my headphones, I'll listen to the cue and I'll pretend like I'm going to be playing on this, and what would I play? And if the producer said, hey, we need you to do a part on this, then I'm kind of already ready, even though chances are I'm not going to play on it. My mindset is I'm going to be ready, so that if they get this idea, they want me on it, I'm not like scrambling to figure out what I'm doing. I'm in the room, I'm focused, I stay focused the whole day. That's what they pay me to do. And so as an encouragement to you, I would say don't ever check out, no matter what you're doing. Even if it's like if you're on a gig, you're at church, you're on a session, don't ever check out. Always be engaged in what's going on, because it's just good for everybody. It's good for you. Producers know they can count on you, or the people that hire you, they know that they can count on you. And so that's one of my things, is like I never check out of a session. I never feel like, unless it's a break, then you take a break. But when music is happening and you're there, you got to be part of it. You got to be plugged in. You got to be ready, and just be engaged at all times. So anyway, we went through the rest of the cues, and the day went great. And I think we put in about 8 hours that day. I think we were booked for 10 hours or 11 hours. But we got done early. Everybody did a great job. And I used this guitar on a couple of the cues. This is the Martin Eric Clapton model. And what they were looking for on some of the melody kind of things, they were looking for a very kind of woody sounding guitar, not too big, not too bright, but kind of earthy sounding. And this has that. It has that kind of earthy sound. So I chose this, and I actually played some of the melody things with. Instead of using a pick, I use fingers, because the fingers give you just a little bit more of that earthy kind of sound, that natural, you get. Just that really nice kind of acoustic kind of tone. So, so this did a great job on that. But so anyway, the day went great. Got done. Everybody was happy, and I feel like at some point they might even call me back for another movie, which is great. So anyway, all that to say, keep your practicing going. Don't give up. Just always be engaged in the music, and always try and do the right part at the right time with the right sound, and you'll do great. So anyway, good talking to you. Talk to you later. See you at davecleveland.com.